We'll take the questions after Bob's presentation.
Thank you very much. I'll try to be as short as possible because of time and because of the time of the day as well, so that I don't lose any of you. At the same time, I'm presenting on a topic that is not new to, I think, majority of us, if I'm not wrong. And I believe we have more experts on the floor than myself, so I'll keep it very short and brief. I hope you follow. So I'll speak about the new GTLD program that ICANN is rolling out, basically to give you an update on where we are with the program to date. I'll look at roughly 3 items. The journey. We have been talking about the new GTLD program, and everybody's talking about the new GTLD program. But how did we get here? Where did it start from? And we believe this is important just to improve our understanding on the whole process. I'll also assume that we might have some people from industry, especially the private sector, who may not really be very familiar with what we are talking about. So maybe just also give them a small brief on what we are talking about, because we know the DNS industry is not only for the ICT sector, it's a business. And the private sector needs also to be aware about what it is all about. I'll not speak more about ICANN. I think we know what ICANN does. Maybe just to remind ourselves that our role as ICANN is to manage the internet identifier system. So that is all that we are supposed to be doing. Much details about ICANN is familiar to all of us, and of course it's available in our website. So this new GTLD program, very briefly, it has been a journey, like I said, and it started way back in the year 2000. But more precisely, the year 2005 to 2007, so the GNSO, which is a policy development within ICANN, a policy development entity that is in charge or that is responsible for coming up with policies that govern the generic names. So they were responsible for the policy development process that actually gave life to what we have today as the GTLD program. So it was not an ICANN undertaking, it was a community undertaking. And it went through 2 years of comprehensive policy development process. And this included discussions not only within the GNSO itself, but within its affiliate constituencies. So it was a very comprehensive process. And it was not until 2008 that the report was tabled to ICANN's board. The report had 20 recommendations, and the board adopted 18 specific policy recommendations. Now, it's a very detailed report. Actually, it is in 2 parts. It is available online on that link you see down there. I would encourage us to refresh our memory on what the report recommended. So in June 2011, the board approved what we call the applicant's guidebook, which is actually a comprehensive document that details, as an applicant, as a potential registrar, what it takes, the process involved to actually go through the whole process of applying for a new GTLD. And in 2012, we opened the applications for the new GTLD program. So roughly, this has been the journey. Maybe just to put it into perspective, you see, before 98, we had some new some GTLDs. So we had .coms before ICANN. The question is, in 98, what was the cost of a .com name? In 2014, what is the cost of a .com name? In 98, how available was a .com name? In 2014, how available is the same? Today we have probably around 20 million or so names. So how possible is it to get bob.com, for example? These are some of the reasons that made it important for the community to start thinking of the possibility of expanding the namespace. So the question we're asking ourselves is, has it been a valuable undertaking, especially from a consumer's perspective? Remember, it is not about us, but it is about the end consumer. Are we giving value to the consumer through this process? So through almost a 14-year journey, just to come up with a final a guidebook to take us through the application process, it shows how important this process has been to the community. And today, I think it is important to note that we have made tremendous progress in actually seeing the first batch of new GTLDs get online. So when the application process was launched in 2012, as has been said before, we had a record number of almost 2,000 applications. Of course, it has been noted, and I'll not repeat, that most of these applications was not from Africa. Actually, 17 out of almost 2,000 applications is less than 10% of the total applications. Maybe there is a reason for that, and I believe that is why we are gathered here today, to find solutions to some of the challenges that we are having, so that hopefully when the next round opens, we can improve our status. So as of the 16th of May, 2014, these are the statistics. From 1,930 applications, 1,700 and so passed evaluation. Of course, the evaluation, we have evaluation panels, which are independent, which actually handle that work. Then when you pass that, you go through contracting, and of course, 1,123 have been invited for contracting, out of which we have received almost 50% response to that request. And out of the 559 responses received, we have managed to sign 414 contracts. Of course, after contracting, you go through pre-delegation testing, just like Dr. Africa mentioned. And of course, once you pass pre-delegation testing, then you go into delegation, where the TL is actually introduced into the route. So today, as we speak, over 272 new names have introduced into the route, have been delegated into the route. If you compare this with where we were in 2012, we only had 22 generic names or possibilities. Today we have more than 270. And I think this is a great milestone for the internet community. And of course, with this, there have been other improvements in other sectors and other departments within ICANN that support the program, including an improved reporting structure. Of course, the generic name division is now a division within ICANN to really show how important this process is to ICANN as an organization. Of course, part of the new names is the internationalized names. Basically meaning that today you have names that are not in the normal characters that we know. So we have Arabic, we have Chinese names. This was not possible before. We've also increased our focus on a universal TLD acceptance. Of course, we are actively undertaking outreach to really build capacity and awareness in the GTLD space. Of course, lastly, the first new GTLD program auction is expected today, 4th of June. So I think it was at 1300 UTC, so it's going on today. Now, the motive of doing this has been to improve competition, to improve innovation and choice for the end user, not for ICANN, maybe not for registrars. As a user today, I can decide what name to assume, and I think the user is the focus of the whole of this program. So it is very important that the whole motive behind all this program is to really those three items: improved competition, improved innovation, and choice. And this is focused on the consumer. And I think that is why today you can pay $10 for a .com name, because there is an alternative. If I can't afford your name, then I have an alternative. As a business, the net is changing, because today you have a name that is local, that can be localized to your business. As a region, you have a regional name, which is a possibility. So today we have .Djibouti, it's possible. You also have a community, can be a name online, and your business can be a name online. I think these are important facts that not only should be followed by the mainstream internet and ICT industry, but also the private sector, because with this comes the issue of trademarks. You might not be, and of course not everybody is a potential registrar, but everybody has got a brand as a business, and you need to look out there on who is infringing on your brand. So this is why it is important for all of us to follow what is happening online. Because of time, I think if you ask me what the new dot thing will be, I think you might just name it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Have any question? Go to the mic. State your name and your organization, and then you ask the question, Mr. Tijani.
Thank you. Since there is interpretation, I will try to speak French. So please put your headphone.
My name is Benjamin. I am FMI, Mediterranean Association for Internet. By talking about GTLD, you talked about almost 2,000 demands, and we had only 17 from Africa. Do you know why we have this number? Because those who were in charge of the program didn't think it was important to do the outreach in Africa. They did the program in North America in rich countries, but in Africa they just say that they are going to do this online, but people are not connected online. We have to draw the interest of the people. We need to sensitize them. We need to explain the interest, and this wasn't done. Uh, since the beginning of the program, we had to lead a fight in order to explain people that it is $180 because this price was not accessible for the people in developing countries. Uh, After an effort, we tried to create a working group that worked on the guidebook for the people coming from the southern markets. We worked 2 years on this. We had recommendations and we had criteria also. Now we come up to have the money in order to help 14 GTLD. Now we just received 3 demands, and over the 3 demands, 1 was accepted. We just spend a lot of energy for nothing. One is, again, we didn't think that it was important to explain people the interest of this program, to tell them that the program exists. If we do not think that those people are interested, the result is what we know. In our region, we say that there is no interest. Of course, we have also other reasons, but these are essential reasons. And once the program is here, what will be the remedy for this situation? And it is important to know what can be done. And we need to know what can be dedicated to those regions, so that we won't have any competitivity. And also maybe some demand requests can come from those countries, and there will be some that are going to be accepted. This question of this issue of non-interest, the issue of Africa not interesting in this is a problem, because also we didn't do anything in order to draw the attention or the interest, and we didn't inform the people in Africa. Thank you. Emmanuel Adjovi from Francophonie. I would like to come back on the reform of the WIS to ask some clarifications about the process, about the ongoing process. When you are asking the people to join the different task group, for example, concerning the community, if people can join the group directly, this is a concern for us, because the issue of who is a crucial issue concerning the personal data. And the group of experts also reached a point, a problematic point concerning what is happening nowadays. The conclusion of this group of experts is to create a centralized database that will be given to one company in a country, and we can maybe can we have access by paying. This is a problem for the security for personal data. And this is also in contradiction with the legislation of the French-speaking countries, as well as the European countries concerning the protection of personal data. And this also it's a problem for the variety of cultural differences, and we do not have to mobilize in order to support a system that is centralizing data for the profit of one country. We need to work in order to change the orientation of the current conclusions so that we can have a regional database. And we need also to make this more trustworthy. We need also to bring solutions to this problem. And the organization of Francophonie is mobilizing itself to not accept the directions, and we have also concrete proposals in terms of database. I would like also to know where we are in the process and what are the coming steps. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Nigeria. Two questions. My first question is in relation to WIS. At times when you query a domain, it shows, because you were saying that it's easy to check contacts of domain owners, etc. But when you query a domain, at times it shows that those contacts are private. What's the process to getting those contacts in case when it is required? The second question is more of an observation, which I also think I would like to hear what ICANN is doing in that regard. There is the commenting process. I mean, the process of participating in the discussions of ICANN seems to be one way. In that there's a call for comment, and you make the comment to a particular mailing list, and people read it. People need to go to that website to read the comment, and then it's not interactive. It's the way I was thinking. Is there anything that ICANN is doing to make sure that the mailing list is interactive, whereby if someone posts a comment, it gets received by those who are members of the list, so that the discussion, it can be a discussion and not just making comments for staff alone to review. Is there anything that ICANN is doing in that regard? I'm saying this because I'm used to my community here in Afrinic, whereby the process to which we use for discussion of policy is on the mailing list, whereby we discuss, people make comments, and somebody can also make another comment, which is really, really going to help to ensure that we have a more structured and a more valuable input. Thank you.
We think for the contribution, I think the first contribution for Tijani, maybe Bob will comment on that later. The question about the WIS, the intent of my presentation is just to have your attention. I'm very glad that Mr. Ajovi, even this morning, expressed interest from his organization on this topic. I can tell you that when I was not staff, even in the community, the concern of the people from the community was about the privacy, all this issue. So all your concerns, I can tell you that people from the community, even working, it is their concern. And now when the group has a final recommendation, that one will go to the board. It will go to the board for the approval. So that is the next step. So I cannot tell you exactly when we'll have the board decision after the recommendation of this working group. This is the clear answer about the next period. But to join the discussion list or the group, the discussion group on GNSO, generally, when a new group is formed, there is a call for participation. But even after the formal participation, most of the group, they are open to people or to join, to contribute, to participate. So I think it should be still possible for people to contribute to this debate. So maybe after the session, I can give you more information about this process. But it's very good. This is what people are expecting. I don't think that we have a final solution for the next generation of WIS. Even there are many groups working on the WIS because there are also the technical aspect of this WIS. So we can talk later about that one. For Sean, I think for the common process, first at the beginning on ICANN website, you have just one period. They say that for if you take a topic or a subject, we have one period at the beginning. So they say that common period, start and then close. Now you have two type of period for the common period and then also reply period. So just to tell you that there is a change in the process. But what we are saying is that maybe it could be more helpful to have an interactive way. But I'm sure that through a list, because if sometimes there are some specific issue or topics, there are discussion groups and there is a list, and you can find an email where you can send a question to. Because the question or the topic is very important, maybe it is why the group working on that is expecting people to send the input in one period, and then after that the reply. But I will take note and we share with our colleague that it will maybe interesting to have maybe a list. But you have list, but we'll take your input and then we see with our colleague what can be done to improve the process. And your first question, you talk about sometime when you query, you don't have the informations. This one, maybe when we finish, we can talk about that because I didn't get you well. We can talk about later. Thank you.
Thank you, Yavi. Maybe just very quickly to comment on Tijani's question. Of course, it is a very big question. It's a fundamental one for that matter. And I think it has been discussed extensively, even in other fora. The question of the very few applications from Africa, why was this? And what can be done to mitigate this? Of course, there are a number of reasons that have been highlighted that probably contributed to this. Largely, the level of connectivity. Of course, most of this is online. But of course, there's a serious issue on awareness, and what is being also raised is the issue of cost. And cost in two forms. One is the issue of insurance, which is tied very closely to awareness. Our insurance industry in Africa is really not aware about the DNS industry. And therefore, it's a product that they don't have. And if they do, it is very expensive. So it is awareness and cost. And the other cost, of course, is the cost of application, which we all know. Now, with this background, in AIS14, and I'm sure most of you were there was a group or a working group that was formed to look into this. composed of registrars from Africa to really try to come up with recommendations. But of course, other registrars are asking why not only Africa wants to be treated differently. So this is also something that we need to address. We need to justify why do we feel we should have a different set of rules. So it is a discussion that is ongoing, and as we speak today, there's a document, there's a call for input for the question on what can be done in regards to the DNS industry in underserved regions. So this period is open today. If you go to the ICANN website, there is a call for input on what we think should be done to really address the issue of the underserved regions. And this is not only Africa, it is Africa and Latin America, I think, also. So I think we are invited to really put in our comments on what we really think should be done. But we need to take note of the fact that others are asking why we want to be treated differently. Thank you.
Just to add that we have one-page sheet on the fact sheet of the strategy implementation, Africa strategy information, one in French and one in English. So at the end, I will leave it there so you can just take one to have more information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we are now going to close the session. For those who are new and who does not know Afrinic, please stay in the room because Madhvi and Brice are going to give you an overview of what is Afrinic during the newcomers session. Just to inform you, there's going to be a booth animated by Douglas on the best current operational practices on the internet, critical infrastructure and deployment. It's going to be in the Rasayan room, just next to the AIS Secretariat. Madhvi, thank you. A big applause to Bob and Yaovi. Madhvi, Brice, you can stay if you want to have more information on Afrinic. For those who have missed discussion panels of today, I have got some emails on that. We will be uploading videos tonight. So tomorrow you will have the link to view all the discussion and panels that have happened today. Thank you. Madhvi, Brice, the floor is for you.
Can you click here?